Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab. You know, it's been too much time out here when I got to do this, what I'm about to do now, put two concepts together and see if I can make it work for you in a lesson. So let's get this party started. I appreciate you tuning in. Let's rock. Rightism. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers' way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where I'm going with this? So I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows not, well, excuse me, knows that they know not is simple. You can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here too. Wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And always, to my yacht, be true. Right thinkers. In the words of, in the voice of my James Brown, okay? Keeping it spiritually funky. And like James said, what I before I did this lesson, I had all this written down. I'm going a whole different direction, okay? If you don't know by now, I'm a spiritual junkie. So I'm always gonna keep it what? Spiritually funky. So like James said, no matter what I do, it's got to be funky. So I'm gonna put some spirit and funk together and see what we can come up with. All right. I got one right thinker who's gonna understand this concept. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but this is high level stuff here. All right. Right thinkers you can be called spiritual funk intelligence. Nah. Okay, well, I had another one down here. As the JB would tell you, keep it spiritually funky. I'm a spiritual junkie. That's why I keep it spiritually funky. Let's go with that one. So let's go. Yeah, I'm a spiritual junkie. And that's why I keep it spiritually funky. Bam. Yes, we are spiritual beings, but we having a funky experience. It means real. Funk is real. So we having a real experience. And once you become knowledgeable of yourself, you'll understand that concept. Before I had spiritual knowledge, I just had funk. Funk was my yacht. Why? It was a way of life. It was a principle and a philosophy that I lived by for myself. That I just put it in perspective and made it work for me. So call me a hybrid. Why? Because I got all spirit and I got funk. That makes me spiritually funky. Why? I'm a spiritual junkie. I love funk and I love the spirit. I'm putting them two together. My man said, okay. When I explained it to my dude, he understood the concept before I got out. He said, oh, yeah, I wonder when you're going to do that. So here we go. All right. What I'm saying is try to get the point across. I mastered two philosophies. Spiritual knowledge, that's God. That didn't come first. That came after. The funk, I started back 50 years ago. I've been funking for a long time. Okay? This is what I do for you. But when I got my spiritual knowledge, ooh, buddy, funk was the dots. And I'm going to break it down as I go. George had me prepared way, way before I got here. That's my father, okay? George is my funk father. How about that? So, trust me. I mastered two philosophies, and I put them together and try to make it work for me. Hope I can break it down so they can understand it, and it may work for you. Watch this now. I got some good stuff here. I was funky, again, like I say, way before I became spiritually enlightened. I didn't know that, but I knew I used funk as my way of life, principles I stood by, and everything he said, I just understood everything. The pyramids, what I got them now. George had me prepared. It's a record called Prelude. Google it. That was my calling card about 50 years ago. So I answer the call now. That's my concept. I'm bugging right now. I was funky again. That was a way of life. And watch this. What is that right here? Before I came in night, I got 50 years, okay, of funking. I got over 30 years of spiritual enlightenment. So I've been doing all right for the last 20 years. Why? Putting them together and melding it. Ooh, I got it now. You got spirit, which is God. Then you got funk, which is real. They are one and the same. Okay? Spirit and real. Once you become conscious and once you can implement the concepts that you learn, it becomes real. That's called manifestation. You can think it, you can conceive it, you can achieve it. Manifestation. They teach it all the time. But now, keeping it spiritual, aka godly, and real, funky. I got no problem with that. I fit both bills, okay? Spirit is what? Divine truth. I'm a truth teller. I speak my kadu. And funk is keeping it real. I ain't never lied. I am that same dude. Underneath, I'm still him. I'm just a reproduced, manufactured concept of him, a better him. How about that? A older and wiser him. Moving on. And thanks to the funk and my spiritual development, I become who I am now. And watch this. Funk is keeping it real. I do that. So divine truth, along with funk keeping it real, that's a hell of a life. Welcome to my world. Okay? But obtaining spiritual enlightenment is what? Knowing spiritually what? That you are God. Mentally, you become one with your conscious and your heart consciousness, spelled CONSCIENC. That's the heart. The consciousness that you had to connect with, that is yours. You had to make that decision. That's my point. I'm trying to get you to be able to make a conscious decision on knowing who you are and what you should be doing. And guys, guess what? Right thinkers, you are God's in the flesh. Okay? We are all Christ. Once you get anointed, meaning what? You become conscious of that. Christ conscious, meaning he knew God. He knew the Father and him was one. Okay? He gave you everything he can give you to wake you up. Why am I sweating? All right. But trust me, it's information that once you implement it, is good. If the information you implement don't work, stop listening to whoever give you that information. Simple as that. It should work. Moving on. Okay. I was nowhere we are down here. I'm down here. Okay. Spiritual enlightenment. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now, when I was not spiritual enlightened, but I used funk and keeping what? Keeping it real. I was in the hustle game, street game. I was still real. In everything I did, even if it was wrong, I was still real. I kept it real. That's what I was, okay? No matter what I'm doing, right or wrong, I kept it real. So I got no problem when I got to do what I got to do. When I found God, I ain't look back. Okay, I'm still riding that high. Okay, understand that. That's the best drug. I got a drug for you coming up, too. That's my next lesson. Yeah, I got one more for you. That's I got a new drug. Whew. Y'all gonna love it. Where we at? Where we at down here? Yeah. God and funk. I did that. So I'm down here somewhere. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, okay. Now, funk was my mayat. I mastered the philosophy of mayat. I also mastered the philosophy of funk. So I used funk in place of mayat before I learned mayat. When I realized what I was comfortable. How about that? Everything I'm learning, my spiritual enlightenment from Egypt, George must have been the easier because he had me well prepared. I'm gonna break that down for you in a few minutes. Here we go. Let's get to the lesson. Why I'm trying to explain to you how funk had me prepared for become spiritually enlightened. You have no idea. Hope I can get that point across to you. Funk was my mayat back in my day. Why? Funk meant maintaining my cool no matter what I did or what I was going through. All I wanted to know was, was I cool? When I got caught, the young lady I was with and the two other brothers I was with, each one of them I asked individually, was I cool? Yeah, you was cool. Okay. Was I cool? Yeah, you was cool. Was I cool? Yeah. I want to maintain my cool. So I did that, and that was all due to funk. Okay. Yeah, I'm still cool. I'm in the bullpen with my old man. He freaking out. I was still cool. Okay. My grandmother nicknamed me Daddy Cool. So I had a personal, title that I had to live up to. So being cool was what I did. Maintaining it is what I had to live by. And I did that. So now I'm here to tell you, you can do it too. Moving on. That's what got me through before I came enlightened. What's this? P-Funk, which is my name that I took 50 years ago. It means pure real. That means spirit and funk, real. God is what? Mental, okay? Inside of you. You have to become conscious of that. We know that life, God is what? Life is God's gift to us. What we do with it is our gift to Him. I love that phrase way back then. I wasn't living nowhere near right. But the phrase. Well, I gave God some, yeah, okay. As a parent, he just nodded his head and said, yeah, I remember. Okay, but you did come around. Like my mom said, she's glad I listened. When that little voice, that thing in your gut, listen to it, okay? It knows more than you do, all right? It ain't been out here. It's always inside there. It knows more. Can you, okay, George came out with a record called Psycho Alpha Disco Beta Bio Akadoodle, and the concept was you can dance underwater and not get what? Need no blowhole, no oxygen tank. I was all in. He on the album cover, he riding dolphins. #1 Bimini Road, the Bermuda Triangle. He was up on all of that stuff. And I listened, what's this? Here we go. George had a phrase, okay, a concept. We can dance underwater and not need oxygen tanks, okay? We're like fish. We're human fish. He had the Rita the Mermaid. He had all kind of, characters. That was my man. And for some reason, it all made sense to me. From the time I first heard my man, it just was something about that. So they said, when you hear the truth, the master will appear when the student's ready. Why? Because you hear it. I've been listening to this guy for over 50 years. And he's still doing what he's doing, so I don't feel bad about that choice I made 50 years ago. I'm still rocking funk. I'm not changing my name. Nah, P-Funk, nope. But nope. It is what it is. Move on. Let's get back to this lesson. I see the clock. All right, here you go. But George had the concept, and I rolled with everything he did. Aqua boogie. That means I can play and dance in the water without getting wet. Can you imagine that? And he did it, pulled it off stage at Madison Square Garden. They're on roller skates, looking like they're underwater. Remember Atlantis? Me studying history. Everybody talks about Atlantis. Everybody talks about Atlantis. Atlantis was underwater until what? It wasn't underwater until what? It got sunk, according to the stories. It's at the bottom of some ocean because it got flooded out. But they're supposed to be so technology advanced and all that. Yeah. Again, man is self-destructive. He's going to do his own harm. God ain't gonna flood the earth. They ain't got that. Stop with the storytelling. Okay, tell the truth. Simple as that. It go over better. It's better example. Simple. But back to this one. Atlanta, Bermuda Triangle. He had us down in Bimini Road, partying down in the water. Oh man. Then wait a minute. After that, Atlantis, we talked about that. Now, George was genius, okay? He had a funk concept where he went out of space. That's him out of space, okay? And then he landed a spaceship in the hood. That don't beat all, okay? I learned a lot about everything, AKA myself, from who? George Clinton, okay, my funk father. For what I learned from this guy and his music and lessons, I just thought he was talking to me. You couldn't tell me we didn't have a kinship where everything he said was directing me. I'm like, I'm a I'm like a co-following. I think about it, yeah. And that's why it was, but it served me when I needed it. In prison, crazy house, on the streets, to this day, I still use it. How about that? So yeah, I made a good choice. All right, and like I said, I learned a lot about life. He landed in the mothership in the hood. He took me to Egypt, where I'm to this day rocking pyramids. Google Prelude. I ain't got time to go through it, but I know it word for word, and it's like I'm living it now. So Google it. You'll enjoy it. It should be fun. All right, but you can dance underwater without getting wet. That's the concept. All right. I did my dance underwater was I played the hustle game without getting caught. Getting wet mean I got caught. So I used to boogie up. I was good at what I was doing. I couldn't get caught. I was untouchable. So I thought that's another lesson. But yeah, but I would dance underwater. Didn't get touched too. Yeah, they ran out. But the concept of dancing underwater without getting wet, I just flipped it and used it to my benefit. I don't know what somebody else did with it, but to me, like he talking to me. I told you that. And again, I got my pyramid lessons from George Clinton album called The Prelude. Okay? Me having a lab is from that album. George in his lab cloning. I'm cloning Dr. Funk. I've been cloned mentally a long time ago. Okay? I can tell you that. Why? He enlightened me to things that's what cloning is about. Reproduction in you in some other form, where it's be just like you. I want all right thinkers to be what the best selves, just like me. Simple. Moving on. That's the concept. And he was preaching that long before I got his knowledge of what I'm doing now. But again, another one. Swing down, sweet cherry, stop and let me ride. I teach a lesson with Rod when he go into the doo-wop, he called all his boys. Why? They all got to fight. But only one of them going to end up fighting, and that's your ego. That's Set. Set is always fighting Apophis. And y'all think that he's the bad guy. No, he's just the fighter in you. Okay? They say the phrase, it ain't the size of the dog of the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. And Set is like the honey badger. He ain't going to turn down the fight. Okay? No, don't make it different, the odds. Don't make it different, the size. He ain't backing down. That's your ego. And it's apropos in certain aspects in the Soviet well. It should not be in control of you. That attitude should be held and harnessed and used when necessary. When Rodney Set, why? Because everybody else done freaked out. The only one that's still going to fight for you. That's your ego. Let it do what it do when it have to. That's what I'm saying. Control it. But George had me prepared for all this. Watch this. Where we at? That's the one. I got the pyramid. Swing down. When the mothership come into the doo-wop, you can jump up and grab on and, let me ride. Don't cost you nothing. Why? If you got will to jump up and grab, get on, that's the concept. Don't need no ticket. You just get on board. All these are symbolical messages for us. And a lot of us, I know I wasn't even thinking of it like that, okay? But it was to give you information, internal lessons that we just took for granted, but I use it in a different way, hopefully in a positive way. But the mothership, let me drive that thing. When we was doing it, my father, rest his soul, bless him, he heard me, I had my earphones on, I just went and got the Earth Tour album. He said, let me spaceship, man, I'll bring it right back. And if the second go around, I'm prepared for that because I said, that's me. Give me the keys. I drive. I want to drive a spaceship. My old man went to my mother, that nigga crazy. He was talking about driving somebody's spaceship. My man couldn't get with the funk. That was, that's when we split. That's the year we parted ways because he couldn't get with the funk. And I ain't give a crap to make a difference, all right? But now, again, back to George, Chocolate City, okay? I say with George, paint the White House black, okay? When I was in prison, we had a phrase, man, paint the White House black, paint the windows black and cut the heat up, all right? Let's get up in the sweat, up in his piece. I say put a black woman back in the White House. And somebody made a compliment already. You're going to smell like what the Indians get, like that curry, whatever it is, that's messed up. That's messed up. But better than, what they say, chicken and collard greens, yeah. That's racist. Now, I have put in 50 years of funk intelligence. Okay? Here to make funk intelligence. Where'd you get your funk from? George. Okay? Now, along with 35 years of gaining spiritual knowledge, I put them two together. Right thinking is based on my funk, keeping it real, and my knowledge of God, knowing who I am. You put them together, my man, you got something going. That's what right thinking is based off of. Let's go, wrapping it up. And again, I keep it what? Spiritual, godly, and I keep it what? Real, which is funky. So I'm real squared. If you think about math, I'm real 2 times, okay? So I have God knowledge, which is my spirituality, and I also have funk, which is my real life experience. Together, I know who I am, coming and going, past and future, present. I'm always in the now. That's the difference. I know who I am. I know how to do what it is I do. So I give it to you. Hopefully you can do the same too. Wrapping it up. When I was ignorant, and I was, in my what? Ignorant of my higher self. I have a clue about God. I had funk. That wasn't, to me, that was God. That's all I needed. Why? It kept me where I needed to be. Mentally, I didn't use the Bible. I did funk. I went to George. When I was in the mental institution, they let me play George Clinton in the music room. Man, I was like a raving maniac until I got to George. They look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Yeah, I acquiesced. I'm where I need to be, up here. Okay, I'm good. Whatever's going on, man, y'all can Thursday me up, count whatever. But let's give me some George, and I'll go to bopping, and I'm comfortable. So trust me, funk is real. How you use it, that's how I'm trying to explain to you. I did. When I was ignorant of my higher self, funk got me through. But I was real with what? Myself, aka funky, all the time. I never became unfunky. I never faked it. Never lost my cool. To this day, I'm still holding on, 66 and rolling. I didn't always know myself, aka spiritually, God, my higher self, but I always knew myself. If that makes sense, okay? Well, I never denied that. That's what funk was, keeping it real with myself. And it got me through. And once I learned other stuff, I'm good now. And now I got that so I can teach you what I know, what I've experienced, what I live, and show and hope others what? Do the same. Hope I can motivate, inspire, educate somebody to do what? Better for themselves. That's what I got for you. I ain't here for no other reason. So let me wrap it up. And I appreciate you tuning in the comments. Love them. All of them ain't good. I take them all with a grain of salt. The good don't make me happy. The bad don't make me sad. But I appreciate them all. That's what I let you know. I'm good. Moving on. Right thinkers, in closing, okay? Right thinking philosophy is the end result of what? Me keeping it real and spiritual, aka keeping it spiritually funky. Hope you got the lesson. Hope it made sense to you. I talk to you later, my dude. Appreciate you. And in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100, and me 100 minus a day. So I never know that my right thinkers have passed away. But remember, keep it spiritually funky. I do.